Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviving another old eyeshadow palette, and today's palette is going to be the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Thank you so much for your positive response on last week's video where I kind of started this series of reviving old eyeshadow palettes where I did a get ready with me using the Urban Decay Naked Honey. If you didn't see that video, I will link it in the cards. Thank you so much for your positive response. I did not think people would be that excited about it, so I thought I would continue this as a series. Basically just, reviving older eyeshadow palettes, doing a get ready with me using them. Because as we know in the beauty community, palettes get forgotten about very, very quickly. There are constant new makeup releases, and within a few weeks, people move on to something else. So I wanted to do the Metropolis palette because I asked you guys in that video requests for other palettes, and definitely Natasha Denona palettes were the #1 requested. Multiple people said the Metropolis palette, and multiple people said other Natasha Denona palettes that I have, and other people also suggested BH Cosmetics, Juvia's Place, Pat McGrath. So I am compiling a list, and since Natasha Denona was the most requested, I decided to go with this first, and then I think I may alternate, so the next one I want to do a different palette, and then probably another Natasha Denona after that. So yeah, thank you for requesting that. So if you saw my recent palette collection video, you know what palettes I have. So if there's other palettes that you want me to do a get ready with me for this series, let me know and let's get started. Here she is, the beautiful Metropolis palette. I love this one so much. It really is amazing. And I have used this one quite a bit. I've hit pan on it. And so I actually watched a Natasha Denona tutorial on her channel, and she used this one, a cream to powder, as a base. And she said that these cream to powders are good for bases for like the shimmers and the duochromes. And I tried that out the other day with this green, and it was beautiful. So I want to use this green cream to powder kind of as a base for shimmers. Anyway, I'll show you, but let's start with this matte and this matte in the crease. Yeah, this palette, I did review this when it came out. I'm trying to remember when that was. Was it, gosh, 2018, 2019? I don't know. I probably should have looked this up, but yeah, I lose track of time. But definitely this palette got a lot of hype. I mean, so many people were doing first impressions, reviews, tutorials. This was a really big deal for her because it was the first 28 pan palette that she did at the $129 price. And it's the only one that she's done that way. I would love to see her do more of these because the pans are smaller, and I am all for that. I own a lot of eyeshadow. I don't need massive eyeshadow pans. All right, so this green cream to powder, I'm gonna put that all over the lid, and I am using the brush from the Naked Honey palette. I said in last week's video, I really love this brush. I use it a lot for lid shades. So yeah, these cream to powder formula, I like them. I kind of sometimes have mixed feelings on how I feel about this formula. And there are a lot of the cream to powder in the Metropolis palette, and not all of her palettes have the cream to powder. Some have 1 or 2, but this one has quite a few. I think there's like 6 or 7 in this palette. Yeah, and I know some people like them, some people don't, and I heard mixed things about the ones in the Zendo palette, which is, I mean, I'm on a low buy anyway, so I can't buy that many palettes. The Zendo is one I am still like considering. I don't know. The reviews are mixed, I will say. I mean, a lot of Natasha Denona palettes get like rave reviews, but yeah, like there have been people like Andrea Monteano. She and I seem to have very similar taste in makeup, so I really trust her reviews because I feel like a lot of the stuff that she likes and doesn't like, I end up like feeling the same way about as her. So yeah, she didn't love the Zendo, and so I haven't purchased that one. I also do feel like I have the colors. And actually, a few of you guys told me that it is similar to the Born to Run palette color story wise. And I watched some videos, and it does seem like there are similarities, and I have that palette. So yeah, I'm still skipping over that one. Now, okay, so same brush. I'm gonna go with this green shimmer here. Basically just gonna put that on top. And I'm still not wetting the brush. There is going to be another shade that I'm going to use that I am planning on wetting the brush, but yeah, let me see. Yeah, okay, so this with that green base underneath looks amazing. I have to say that I've watched a lot of the tutorials that Natasha Denona has on her channel. They're really good and they're really interesting, and it's interesting to see an actual makeup artist and the techniques she uses. And they're quick tutorials, which I like. They're to the point. They're only like 2 to 3 minutes long. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I've watched a lot of those videos on her channel, and yeah, I think they're really, really inspiring. I like to watch those and get ideas for her palettes, or even color stories from other palettes that I have. Okay, so I'm going to use this duochrome, and the duochromes, I will say those definitely use a wet brush for those for sure. It's interesting because some of the metallics by Natasha Denona are a lot smoother and I don't use a wet brush, but then others are a bit chunky. For sure the duochromes tend to be. So I'm gonna try to just kind of start this in the middle here and then see how I feel about it. And I don't know that I mentioned, I am wearing my Milani eye primer as usual underneath. So yeah, this palette is so beautiful. And really, I'm still, like I said, I'm still surprised she hasn't come out with another one in this size for the price, because it was so popular. This one, they said it was going to be limited edition. And then, you know, it's still here, but I think that was because people were really, really into it, which, you know, this palette, I think, is one of the ones, I think it deserves the hype. I think the formula is absolutely amazing. The color story is amazing. The only thing I still standing my ground on is that a lot of the shades do dupe themselves. And that is something I said in my initial review video, is that a few of these like orangey browns on the eyes, they look the same. So that's really the only complaint I have about this palette. I think the color selection, story, formula, it's amazing. So I decided to just put this like all over instead of just in the center. I just feel like this color is so pretty and multi-dimensional. So basically it's just like a layer of the green cream to powder, the green metallic, and then the duochrome on top. I really, really like it. Just gonna do a little blending with those two matte shades again. Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, the formula on this palette, it's really, really good. Not gonna lie. So yeah, let me know if there's other palettes that you know I have that you would like me to do for this series. So I'm gonna clean up the fallout. I was debating whether I'm gonna do winged liner or not. I might not actually, so I'll be back. I ended up doing winged liner because when I was cleaning out the fallout, I ended up erasing too much of my eye makeup and it was a whole thing. I will say I have shimmers from that duochrome all over my face, and I was like wiping it down, adding back moisturizer. A lot of fallout with her duochrome shadows. I've noticed that across her palettes, but that is okay. I really like the eye look. I did put on my Rare Beauty primer. I bought this in July, so this is the Pore Diffusing Primer. I actually really like it. I've said before, I love pore filling primers. It is a very classic pore filling primer. I like it. I think it's really nice, and I'm really impressed with the price point of Rare Beauty because it's kind of at that $20-something range. I think this was about $25. And yeah, I think it's nice, and I definitely want to try more from the brand. I am going to use the same foundation that I did in last week's video, the AOA Studio, the Buildable Satin Foundation. I did talk about this in my top 3 makeup favorites video, if you saw that. Whoops, yeah, this is the problem. The dropper on it is not the best, but other than that, it's a really, really good foundation, and it's only $1, and yeah, I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited to do more of these videos. I've got a list of palettes that people suggested. Like I said, a lot of suggestions for Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, BH Cosmetics, Juvia's Place. So yeah, and if there's any other palettes, yeah, check out my palette collection video. Another thing I was thinking was maybe some single shadows too. I think I might do one at some point. It's gonna obviously take me a while, but the Makeup Geek single shadows, I love those. And like nobody talks about those anymore, but I think they're really, really good. So yeah, I was very excited. I liked that people were into it because, yeah, I'm trying to shop my stash as much as possible and just enjoy the makeup collection I already have. I'm gonna layer these two concealers, the Becca Ultimate Coverage, which I'm trying to pan, and I'm getting so close on this. And then, okay, this is funny. So in my top 3 makeup favorites video, I talked about this Too Faced concealer. So mine says born like this, okay? And multiple people were like, that's not what that concealer is called. It's called the Born This Way. And I looked it up and it is. And I was like, that's weird. And of course someone was like, oh, you obviously bought a fake on Amazon. I didn't. I bought it at a CCO, which is Cosmetic Company Outlet Store, which those stores are owned by Estee Lauder, which is the company that owns Too Faced. So I think it would be unusual for a fake to be at a CCO, I think. I mean, I can't say for sure. I don't know. My guess, again, I don't know. It's all speculation, but that maybe they were going to call it this and then they changed their mind. So then that's how these ended up at the CCO. I don't know, but it just seems, because CCOs are like leftover products. I mean, it's an outlet store for Estee Lauder products. So I feel like a fake would be really unusual considering Estee Lauder owns the stores. But anyway, I just thought that was fun. I mean, I'm going to keep using it. It works well. I like it. There's nothing else like weird about it. But yeah, that was funny because I had no idea. All right, I'm going to set this foundation with my Pure Cosmetics powder. Still working on this in a project pan too. I really do like it though. I think it's a really nice face powder. Adds a tiny bit of coverage and yeah, just keeps my foundation in place, which is what I really, really needed to do. And then of course, Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. Where's my brush? Oh, it's here. Yeah. Only under eye powder I use. I know. I talk about it a lot, and I talked about it in that top 3 favorites video too. I really enjoyed watching those people's top 3 favorites video because yeah, it's like the ultimate favorites. I think it's a really, really fun video. So yeah, just setting this. I'm thinking about, I feel like I should do a bold lip. I just have not done a bold lip color in so long. I'm so boring, but the warm neutrals, that's what I like. I can't help it. I forgot I wanted to do cream blush, but I think I still can. So this is the Palladio blush in Peach. So just gonna put a little bit of this on. I mean, I often do still put cream blush or cream highlight after I've set my face. I think it's because I don't use a heavy amount of powder that, I don't know, I haven't really had problem doing that. I think obviously if you were doing like a powder foundation or a heavy layer of powder or like baking or something, this would be harder to do, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had an issue with it. So, and I really do like these. These are more subtle though, I will say. As you can tell, it's definitely a bit more sheer. I'm gonna do a little bit of contour with the Charlotte Tilbury, the Film Star Bronze and Glow. I do like this a lot. And I do like to define my jawline just a little bit. I feel like it makes just a bit of a difference. Colourpop, the Coconut Bronzer, also in a project pan, trying to work on this. Takes me a long time to use up bronzer. I mean, Chic powder products in general are not easy to use up, but I'm making progress on it. And I do want to update this project pan soon. I'm going to add a little bit of powder blush. This is Brilliant Nude by Hourglass. This is in my Shop My Stash. And yeah, this is a subtle blush. This is a good one to use over cream blush. Because yeah, like I've said, I do have to set my cream blush just because of combo skin. But yeah, I don't put a lot on. It stays looking glowy. So yeah, I do like that. Another Shop My Stash item I'm going to use is the Undone Beauty, the highlighter, and I want to use the gold strip because I feel like, yeah, gold with this look definitely makes sense. Oh wow, okay, that was a lot. It's a very, this is a pretty intense highlighter. Yeah, okay. I might have overdone it. All right, well, I don't know what happened here. I went insane with this highlighter and it looks terrible. So I'm trying to fix it with blush, and then I'm gonna try finishing powder. Oh my gosh. I don't know what in the world happened here. It looks terrible. What did I do? Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll see. Hopefully I can fix this. Alrighty, here we are. I tried to salvage this look as much as possible. I did my brows and mascara, and on the lower lash line, I just put these same two matte shades, and then I put a little bit of this color in the inner corner. And despite the face makeup not looking, as good as it could, which is totally fine. Makeup is just supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's not that big of a deal to me. And I added more blush and like a lighter highlighter and finishing powder. I think it's gonna be as good as it gets, but that's okay. I think it still looks fine. The eye look, this shimmer, it's just so beautiful, and I'm so glad that I watched her video where she was doing that cream to powder as a base. I really want to do that with some of the other cream to powder shades in this palette and in some of her other palettes, because yeah, like I said, the tutorial I watched, she used this as a base and then put the duochrome on top of that, and it was a really, really beautiful look. Like I said, if you haven't checked out Natasha Denona's tutorials on her YouTube channel, I recommend them. I think they're really good. The ones with the Safari palette are really, really cool, and I'd love to try to recreate some of those. And so I did decide to wear a bright lipstick, which I never do. I really do like this red orange, and I think it's fun with the look. So this is Morphe Hot Shot. I've had this for so long, and it still seems okay, but yeah, I think I've had this for 2 or 3 years, which is kind of a while for a liquid lipstick, but it's still working fine. But at some point I should probably, upgrade it to something else, but the color is beautiful. So I think this look is fun. I do like how it turned out. Let us know, do you have this palette? Because yeah, this was one of her most hyped releases. Such a good palette. I still think this is one of the best palettes in my collection. The color story is beautiful, and yeah, I didn't use this palette as much last year as I did the year before, so I want to get more use out of it. I feel like this is perfect for fall. Perfect fall palette. So yeah, overall, I like how the look came out. I think this palette is fantastic. Let us know what you think. And like I said, if there's other palettes that you want me to revive on my channel, let me know. If you didn't see last week's video with the Urban Decay Naked Honey, you can check that out. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.